Watching the debates last night with an eye on what the business community and the markets are expecting, what did you think?
Yeah, so you got to take a look and say, where was their agreement? Where was their disagreement? If you look at taxes, all the candidates, the moderates and the progressives, all agreed the capital gains rate should be taxed at the ordinary income tax rate. The top income tax rate should go up. The estate tax should be moved to a carryover basis, and the corporate tax rate should go higher. So there seems to be some sort of agreement on at least the bare minimum of what the Democrats would be looking for tax increases. Interestingly, we had an hour debate on health care last night. No talk about what the Republicans are doing, really a fight for the direction on health care amongst the Democrats, and very little agreement or very little view that the ACA was successful, that we need to throw that out and do something more. That was a signature policy of the Democrats. And then on trade policy, Becky, I was just floored that the Democrats didn't have a good response to Donald Trump. And at times you feel as if Trump has cut them off on some of the key issues they're trying to debate, whether that's trade or drug pricing, some of the other issues that aren't traditional Republican issues that Trump has grabbed onto. The key issue here, though, Becky, is can the Democrats win with an agenda moving to the left? Can they take control of the Senate? The betting odds are just 30% they can. And if they have control of the Senate, can they enact those types of policies? And I think that would be very hard. Obama had close to 60 votes in 2009, and look at the way he struggled to get the ACA through. Democrats are going to be very challenged to get this. So this is a very aspirational. Over time, it will start to winnow itself down.
Okay, you think over time it will start to winnow itself down, because that has to be the big concern when it comes to business, I would anticipate. Just hearing some of the more progressive ideas that are out there would be radical change for corporate America.
Absolutely. The banning of private insurance for health care, 80% or 70% disapprove of that. Very hard for something like that to go through. The level of tax increases, the idea of taxing wealth rather than income, constitutionally suspect. Those would be very difficult to get through. But I do have to say that we're in a bull market for populism. That's populism on the right, like Donald Trump or Brexit, populism on the left. So don't discount the idea that a more progressive candidate could win the Democratic nomination. And we are a 50-50 nation, Becky. So this race is going to be close no matter what. It's very difficult to beat an incumbent president. It's very difficult to beat an incumbent president when the economy is strong. Today, we're going to get a Federal Reserve interest rate cut, the first one in a decade. So there's challenges for the Democrats, but we don't anticipate this is going to be a blowout one way or another.
Dan, we could, it's possible now. I finally see that is a possibility. I've been reading about suburban voters, suburban women, the tweets, the divisiveness, all these things, the economy being overshadowed by that. We could eventually have Medicare for all, theoretically, or at least a push towards it, and all the things that they're talking about, we could end up having a president advocating that because of bad tweets, because Trump somehow snatches defeat from the jaws of victory with some of these other, histrionics, to where we're left with none of those Trump policies that conservatives like, because of the Elijah Cummings or something. It's scary.
Joe, I would agree with you that sometimes the president kind of builds his own mess, but I think the larger issue is the economy. I mean, the trade negotiators are out in China right now, and the press reports coming back suggest that there's going to be no deal. And so where is capital expenditures? Very strong after the tax cut, but as the tariffs started to wind up, all that business confidence started to erode. Investment has started to decline. And does that affect the economy a year out when President Trump is running for re-election? So he has those twin issues that he's going to have to deal with. I think it's interesting that the Fed is cutting rates. They cut rates at the exact place of Bill Clinton's, when Bill Clinton was president, July of 1995. 2Q GDP in 2016 was about 6.5% for Bill Clinton. So, maybe the president gets that tailwind from the economy that offsets the tweets. But there's a lot of headwinds for the president right now, and he's got to make the other candidate more toxic to be able to win.